Welcome to Three Witches and a Druid podcast, a Canadian podcast about paganism in today's modern society.
It's always been this way. Time never changes. Souls trapped inside themselves, reaching, never touching. Two flowers in the sand, longing for each other, looking for a bridge to cross, reaching, never touching. Wrapped up in glass. I tried to reach you once. You tried to reach me. You can't ignite the fire, giving, never taking. And when you give your all, there's nothing left inside. We stand two empty souls, giving, never taking. Wrapped up in glass. Passion dies a lonely death for those who try too hard. Endless fantasies are woven on the silken web of dreams. Time cannot erase the timeless pain of failure. The cold inside grows colder now. Wrapped up in glass. It's an endless picture show where the hero always wins. It's so easy to pretend, speaking, never feeling. Frost is on the mirror now, barring your reflection. I sit inside my crystal shell, speaking, never feeling. Wrapped up in glass. Passion dies a lonely death for those who try too hard. Endless fantasies are woven on the silken web of dreams. Time cannot erase the timeless pain of failure. The cold inside grows colder now. Wrapped up in glass.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Three Witches and a Druid, where we sit around and talk about our experiences and memories and sometimes expectations of living as modern-day pagans. I'm Margot.
And I am Maeve.
Gwen.
And I'm Brian. So we missed last week's episode because of storms and sickness and all sorts of fun, wonderful things. So we've talked a lot about what we want to record in the future and trying to have like a stockpile. We normally do have a stockpile. Last week was a bad.
It's winter.
It was winter and we just ran out of our stockpile.
And we had 2 storms in what, a week?
Yeah, we actually have a lot of snow at the moment. So tonight's episode, I suggested with these three moaning about it, that we talk about lots of scoffing, about a personal practice update. I've seen other podcasts do this. I think it's cute. I think we should talk about it. What are we doing as of right now?
See, I think you think it's a good topic because being a druid, there are stuff
we gotta do.
Yeah. Whereas we're all fairly eclectic and, I don't want to say airy-fairy because we're definitely...
So this is what you're saying is that this episode I get to flex a little about all the stuff I've been doing. And then you guys...
I get to claim Valentine's Day.
Okay, there you go.
I work in a flower shop. It was just Valentine's Day. We had an enormous blizzard and it was freaking banana pants, let me tell you. Like I was halfway sold out, more than halfway sold out the day before Valentine's Day.
Because everybody was worried about the storm.
So I expected Valentine's Day to be a blip, and it was just as crazy. So it was nutty, and then I was sick for 4 days. So there you go.
That's what I'm doing. But yeah, so like, what are you guys doing in your personal practice of pagany, witchy, druidry stuff?
This.
Yeah, this. We had a snowstorm. We missed Imbolc.
That's true. Our Imbolc
was ruined.
Was canceled. Not canceled. Postponed. We're doing it this Sunday.
Yeah. So there we are. Truthfully, I just thought of this. I have been doing a lot of, I suppose, I wouldn't say magic, but a lot of work with sound therapy.
Okay.
The last little bit. So that's very spiritual in its way.
So, yeah.
Very much so, because I hurt myself a week or so ago. But even before then, I was having just having a bit of a downtime. Our friend Rhonda does this wonderful sound healing meditation. And I was shaken like a fish on a dock through the whole thing. So I'm saying, I obviously have some energetic blocks in my body. So I've been using, tuning forks and through the headphones, I don't own them, and, different sound and different hertzes for the body. So I guess I have been doing a bit lately.
Okay.
To try to loosen all that up. And, between being happy and cursing at the same time with the goddess, we'll say at the goddess.
There you go. Shaky like a fish on a wharf. That's a new one. I haven't heard that before. That's true.
All because it was all, you have all these energetic blocks, because I was having a bit of a sad time. And yeah, so I guess I've been doing that. That's been my check-in. When I was scoffing, I'd forgotten about that stuff.
So now you get to pat yourself on the back a little.
I have been doing that. And, I guess I'm just a weirdo. I talk to the goddess because, as Gwen well knows, I have a running commentary of everything I do, talking to the goddess. And it is true, having children around for years and years and years.
That was my son's suggestion.
It is true. Right. It's true. That's partly true of it. I also been talking to myself forever.
Yeah, explain.
Clarify,
what are you talking
please.
about?
Tell the story, Gwen.
Well, we were at the festival. We were using a shared kitchen. We all had our tents set up around it. And Maeve she just says, well, maybe I'm hungry now. And there's nobody around her. She's like, maybe I'll have an apple. Maybe I'll have this. Maybe I'll have that. I think I need to go lay down first. Blah, blah, blah. And you just get this running commentary. It's like the sports channel, right? And she just narrates her entire life. And it's so amusing. I just love watching her as she's going around narrating everything that's going on. My son dropped by later to the festival and joined us. And I'm like, look at her, giving him the elbow. And he says, that's because took care of kids for years. And I'm like, I had kids. I don't remember this.
Yeah, but
part.
did you have like 5 and 6 in your house every day?
And
all day?
that's it. And he said, if you don't tell them what you're doing, they're going to ask you and drive you crazy. And I'm going in the other room to do this. Otherwise, they're going to want to know. And that's the thing. That's what you had. But yes, it's like she color commentates her entire life. And you just have to, it could be a radio. Well, she is a radio host. So there you go.
There we go. Well, it comes from several things. I've talked to myself since the day I opened my mouth. I really have always talked to myself. Shortly and during that year or so after my divorce, I was so upset all the time. And, you're paralyzed with whatever grief you're going through. I was at the point where, okay, Maeve, it's time to sit up. And then you're going to put your feet over the side of the bed. Then you're going to put your slippers on. And then you're going to go pee. And then after I peed, okay, now I'm going to go wash my hands because I was so out of it for, months afterwards and this was advice I got from a counselor. If you're just so confused in your head. So I guess
verbalize the next step.
Verbalize the next step, because if I thought 4 steps ahead, I got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When you're in the middle of a bad grief cycle. So when I say I have a running commentary, as I talk to myself all the time, I'm talking with the goddess almost all day. She's probably going, geez, just shut up. All day. So there we are. That's my check-in.
I know I do, like at work, I always have to warn any new hire or anything that I will talk to myself constantly about what I'm doing or what should I do next. Should I do this next? Should I do that next? This needs to be done that day.
This is all outside your head.
That's
it's
verbalized,
externalized. Oh, you don't want me to externalize my inner monologue.
Yes.
That would be
9 coworkers out of 10 within a week or two are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's very efficient. I find it helps. Maybe it's the same concept. I never thought of it the way you just described it, Maeve.
Yeah.
But it is a very efficient way to organize
when you're not feeling organized.
Yeah, because it is an overwhelming situation to be trying to juggle 25 things at once in a flower shop.
Right.
People always think, "Oh, flowers. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be lovely?"
It's wildly busy and crazy.
It's
I was there with you a couple
just
times.
channeling a vision, and I'm showing my age, which everybody's aware that we're all old here except Ryan.
I'm not a young spring chicken,
but you're not old.
I'm not old. No.
You know what? Every one of us could be your mother.
Yes, it's fine.
That's fine. But do you remember Lady Hawk, the Matthew
Broderick.
Philippe?
Yeah,
Philippe.
his character. That is me.
Yes.
Narrates her entire life. Her new name is going to be Philippe. That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh
of
my
all time.
God, I love
I mean,
that
when I
movie.
first fell in love with Rutger Hauer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mean,
yeah,
yes.
I could go either way.
Yeah, me
you're
too.
right.
Rutger Hauer was so beautiful in that. It was shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Magic, beauty, medieval knights. What goes wrong?
Shape-shifting.
Like,
Alan Parsons Project doing the
soundtrack.
the soundtrack. We recommend it. Lady Hawk, Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Broderick.
Speaking of people who don't age,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
well, or Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah,
oh
there's that.
gosh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
When did that movie come out? About 85. Yeah. I was
And he
around
looks the exact
17
same
or
then
18.
as he does now.
He pretty much does.
Yeah.
He and Keanu
Like-
Reeves have been drinking
And
some.
Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd. Oh my goodness, right?
I did get to celebrate in bulk only because we went up to Great Village a day early
And got snowed in.
and we got snowed in.
Oh,
but that was okay.
awesome.
That was sort of the plan. So it
Okay.
wasn't that big of
Yeah.
a deal. Getting home was really, I wouldn't say stressful because I wasn't driving. Karen did not
Appreciate
get,
it.
well, normally for us to get to Great Village, it's 45 minutes. If for a normal person, it's probably an hour and 10 minutes. But for
I was
Karen,
going
it's,
because I make that drive. I go well past it, but you go fast.
yeah, Karen goes fast.
Well, wait a minute. No, Great Village is near Truro, isn't
Yes.
it?
The
past
other
Truro.
side.
yeah.
How the hell do you-
45 minutes.
Karen is a very
Once.
fast driver. Either way, the point is, it took us 2.5 hours to get home.
Well, it was
Yeah,
bad.
I-
It was bad.
Well, yeah, because it took me an hour and a half to do the 20-minute drive home on
Yeah.
Tuesday. So
we had this
I get
big
that.
plan to bring the whole grove up to Great Village. Everyone was going to stay at the Van and Hooks. And we were the only ones to make it, of course, because everyone was going to leave on the Saturday
The
and they
following
couldn't.
day.
Yeah. We did have a nice ritual. We streamed it to the others. Everyone joined in on Zoom.
That's,
that's
lovely.
nice.
Yeah, so it
the
was
kids got to play.
Oh, yeah. And we threw them outside and it was great.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, we ended up having a great in bulk. There was a lot of drinking and a lot of other substances consumed. Edibles do nothing for me. I've eaten like 5 edibles. Nothing. Doesn't do a single thing to me.
I'd be in
They
the
don't-
hospital
they
by
don't-
Yeah.
5.
I don't think he was talking about at the same time.
No, not 5 at once. I
Okay,
had
I was
5
gonna
different
say.
edibles over
5
time.
different
Yeah,
times.
they
Say 5 at once, you'd be in the
Edibles-
hospital.
do
Edibles don't
nothing.
do anything for me either.
No, I thought it was really strange.
I
'Cause they
sleep.
always
I feel,
push me.
I feel
There's a lot of peer pressure in that group to like, try it, man. Like, no, nothing. It doesn't do anything. You're just wasting your time.
No.
they're,
that's-
they're the people your mom warned you about when you went to
Exactly.
high
Yes,
school.
100%.
Well-
Now I'm best friends with them.
No, I've always been a cheap drunk, and
Yeah.
a half an edible makes me wackadoodle.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, we had a great in bulk. And what else is going on? The Grove is doing great. Lily is currently our senior druid.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, she took it over Samhain. Yeah. Mark's currently away.
Saving the world.
I guess. He's just judging people about how they sail ships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Somebody's
he's-
got to do that.
Yeah, he's doing that, and the Grove's doing really well. Lo, who's now a member, she's in Greece, and
Oh, very
yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
We have Ostera coming up. Aldine's in charge of that. I don't know what she has planned, but
Mm.
we'll bug her soon.
So you're on.
Yeah, lots of ADF stuff going on. ADF is in the middle of trying to form ADF Germany.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's going to be a proper separate organization under the umbrella of ADF. So there's
Mhm.
lots of red tape and
That's real nice.
stuff going on there.
I really wonder what people who know how to speak Gaelic think of all of us, all these other speakers trying to say ADF. Trying to.
Yeah. I don't even try. Mike's the only person I know that can say it well,
Yeah.
like properly. I'll just gonna record him saying it, and I'll just
and
paste that
splice
over
it in.
Exactly. Yeah. So with ADF Germany on the go, it's sort of reignited the fire to have ADF Canada started. So there's a
There
little.
is no ADF Canada?
Well, no, we're just all. It's
A
just.
satellite.
There's just ADF in general. There is no
Oh.
satellite.
Oh, you're kind of umbrellaed under the...
Exactly.
Okay, I get it.
So there's 84 druids in Canada for ADF.
Many, many other druids, but
Oh yes.
84
yeah.
ADF.
Tons. 84 that are ADF. And in Germany there isn't very many, but
Right on.
yeah, but they have enough
Anyone listening
willpower.
in Germany, look up ADF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. I'm really, 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 really excited for spring because then I can start getting my property together and have more
Yeah.
fires. And
You've
I'm
got such
very
a
excited
beautiful
for
property.
that.
Very
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
for fires.
Contained fires that we put out like good when we
Because
go
we're
to
all
bed.
Yes.
responsible. You know,
'Cause
we're
we're
all
all
responsible pagans.
Yeah.
We're all responsible pagan song.
Well, it's
We
funny
won't pull
because
out the
out
fire.
that way they had a big forest fire years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, and all the whole neighborhood is like, whatever. They just none of them follow the bylaws for the fire pits.
oh
I
my
get
gosh.
Mark gets harassed all the time by his neighbors,
Yeah.
but we've talked to our neighbor.
You're like a click away.
Oh yeah,
at the-
if that.
If that.
And all of our neighbors, nobody has lids. Nobody
For
has.
all our American listeners, that's a kilometer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is like 0.5 or something.
Like
of
of
a
a
mile.
mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry.
like out in Herring Cove itself, they don't seem to care,
Okay.
which I thought was really weird.
of anybody.
Yeah, because I
Yes.
built up this proper fire pit, and everyone's like, "Why don't you just have a barrel?" I'm like, what?
The burning barrel.
Yeah, half of them have like dryer bins, and that's just what they do with it.
Herring Cove's an old community. Real old,
is.
real old
Yeah.
community. Well, your house is really old.
Yeah, 1886.
Yeah.
Really old for Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Gwen, what are you doing?
So what am I doing? I once took this course from Dr. Cindy Brannon, also Nova Scotian, of Keeping Her Keys fame. And she had built into this year-long course, a Witch's Hour of Power. And you were supposed to do something for an hour a day. And we would have like you, I enjoy research and everything. I love the book work. I loved all this. But once a month, we have to have these Zoom meetings. I worked a lot. I worked, 70 hours a week at that point. I was working way too much. And I hardly ever made them. And when I did, I always felt less than, right? There's all these keeners there. And they're talking about all these fabulous things that they're doing for their Witches Hour of Power. And I'm like, what the frig am I doing? Like, I want 15 minutes of meditation for myself a day. That's like really what I want. And then as we went on in this Zoom meeting, after I embarrassed myself by saying, well, I'd really like to try to do 15 minutes of meditation a day and I forgot I drew a tarot card in the morning, which I haven't been doing. So, but I used to draw a tarot card every day in the morning, but I stopped over this winter. Some people were counting reading books, reading blog posts and online articles and listening to podcasts and all this sort of thing. And I realized that for my job, I do all of that every single freaking day. I go into the prisons. I have to prepare content. I have like about 7-8 distinct populations that want very different things. They all want new content. I once did a Samhain ritual, tweaked it, but the same basic ritual 4 years later. And they're like, yeah, I still have my ribbon from the last time we did this like 3 years ago, Gwen. I'm like, so, they look forward to it. Yes. And I said, if you were Christian and it was a candlelight Christmas Eve service, it would be the same one every single freaking year, right? And they're like, yeah, but you always do something different. I'm like, oh, crap. Well, crap. So I do all these things. And even when it seems frenetic or whatever, like I listen to the podcasts in the car as I'm traveling. I do these things and I'll be writing up lessons plans and stuff. But believe me, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. I mean, and I wouldn't tell these guys, but I would do it for free. I'm glad they're paying me, but I would do this for free. I freaking love what I do. I would love to encourage more people to reach out and be part of that community of building community. I dismiss it, but within my work, I do a lot of stuff.
Well, that's your job. Well, it's interesting you were saying about preparing things. I forgot what I'm doing, and I might win the cookie here.
Yeah.
I have approximately, 3,000 or 4,000 scraps of paper.
Yeah.
Everywhere and here, and pictures on my phone and all these different notebooks. I do not actually have, other than the folder I keep for the show, a Book of Shadows, because I have like thousands of them.
I was going to say, do you have duotangs and binders and stuff? I'm synthesizing mine too. Are you doing that?
I have started. Now? I got the biggest binder I could find, and I'm starting to write it all down.
That's
in one
amazing.
Place.
It's crazy.
That recently.
We are simpatico. We haven't talked about it, but we were working on the same sort of things.
We've always been like that, though. It's weird.
Very off. Yes, we definitely have. And I'm thinking, my kids are older and I have grandchildren. You have a child going. And I'm thinking, this is a legacy thing that I want to leave my kids, a prepared thing of rituals and spells and activities that we have done over the years as a family or in community, because my kids have been around for a lot of community.
I think my daughter might go, I don't have time for that.
Well, not right now, but my kids are much older.
My grandchildren may see it.
You don't tell them. You put it in the attic in a creepy box and you let them find it a few years down the road. Then they appreciate it.
That's right.
Don't fucking tell them about it.
That's true, but I have started.
If you can't put a big ass lock on it. No reason, just put a lock on
it. A box with a lock.
No, the book. Put a lock on the book.
Book itself.
Well, you know,
because it just makes it creepier.
I have one of those from the Bombay Company.
Oh,
I have one of those big wooden memory boxes.
See, there you go.
I can put all of it and put it in the memory box. There we go. Freak everybody out.
Every grandkid goes through like a goth emo phase where they're like, I'm like descended from witches, except in this case, they actually are.
They are. It's true.
It's funny you mentioned that though, because the Grove, we have 8 rituals a year.
Yeah.
The they're almost all the same. Like, we do the same rituals every year.
And there's
We've
comfort
been doing it for almost 25
in using
years.
the same ritual format.
Yeah.
Yes.
My problem is, in this instance, I can't really do that because some people really like a Scandinavian format. Some people are hardcore Wiccan. Some people are. And I either try and use different ones, or if I'm in one institution, which is mostly Wicca, we do Wicca. And then another institution. And the Druids I haven't had to reinvent the wheel. They've very graciously given me all their rituals. So that's
what
awesome.
do you do? Do you like, okay, for this Sabbath, we're going to do it Nordic style. For this Sabbath, we're going to do
That's
it
what I often
Egyptian
do.
style,
And I
we're
try
gonna do
and
whatever.
think like,
But that's really hard.
it can be hard, but I do like a Nordic Yule because that's more of a Nordic thing. And then like Imbolc and Beltane, they would be more likely Druid. And in the in-betweens, like I'll throw in different ones. And of course I'll do Wicca as well. And I try and get the people that are of those particular faiths to do more speaking parts. Like have them more lead it than myself so that it's reflective of, them. But we did a Greek one at the last full moon, which was, based at a Greek magical papyri sort of work and sort of thing. So, yeah.
That sounds great because no one loves to write a ritual more than me.
I know.
But
I know. I love it.
Those individuals, they understand, like, when you create rituals, you use them for years and years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, the Grove, we have our 8 rituals. They're our standard, core, basic. And if you want to do something different, you can. And it just gets added to the pile.
It gets added.
And now we also have ritual. We have a ritual for funerals. We have a ritual for stillborn babies. We have a ritual for
Which is lovely.
baby blessing.
Do you have a divorce ritual?
A what?
Separation or divorce? Have you guys developed something like that?
I think that's supposed to be just drinking.
Or that
But that's a really good idea. That's a good idea.
I don't know. I think it has value in today's society. It's another rite of passage in a sense.
Who was it? Was it Zed Budapest? Who in one of her books had a ritual that a woman did with other women for miscarriage.
Yeah, we have one of those.
Yeah. I think Zed Budapest, I read one
That I can see that.
I wrote one for a local lady over COVID, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I've done dog funerals.
Yeah, there you go.
I have done 2 dog funerals. I'm the girl to call. Dog funeral. I know that sounds crazy, but one person passed my name. Well, geez, I like my dog better than my kid.
Well, it's
on occasion.
Funny enough.
I love my kid more, but I liked my dog.
That's one of the number one things discussed in ADF clergy is that you become clergy and everyone's like, yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of weddings. No, you do mostly funerals.
Yeah.
You do so many funerals.
Yeah.
See, I love, much like Maeve, creating a ritual because I am always amazed when that spark of idea takes
creativity.
off,
yeah,
and takes form, and you figure out what you have an idea of what it is you want to accomplish. How do you theatrically demonstrate that? And it's that when that spark
I would totally love to bring that experience into the prisons. I need more people because there's very few that have a big experience on the street. There's some that do. And there's some that have kind of grown up like folk magic-y, but they haven't done public ritual and that sort of thing. I need more volunteers that are very comfortable with theatrical. And the thing is, everything I do, and this is another podcast, and I'd really love to talk to other people that do this work, but you can't just have everything you want in a prison, which makes it really...
Yes, I can imagine.
And so, and beyond that, maybe I only get to see them a week before. I'm not going to see anybody. I didn't see anybody at Imbolc. So I prepared a couple of different types of solitary rituals that they could do in their houses, quotation marks, houses. That's one of the terms for their cells, not homes, but houses. That is really lean because they're not allowed a lot of things. They may not have a window that they could see a moon or if it's cloudy, stars or anything. Like it can be very,
limiting.
Yes. And if you don't have a background to draw on of imagery and that sort of thing, it's really tough.
As you're saying that, I've had an idea, but we'll talk about about it after because we don't need to. Because are we off topic? No, I don't think we are.
I don't think there really was a topic. The topic was to discuss what we are individually doing in our practices, which we're
I feel better about myself now that I remembered that I have been for the past few weeks
working away
and do it. It's going to take me a year or more to do it.
Oh gosh,
just little things, and I stop and think, it's like, well, I used to have a binder with rituals in it. But the last few years, if I'm doing a ritual at a festival or something, I scribble it on a single piece of paper, and God knows where that's gone now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I know, Maeve, that you won't be yet. Maeve has a garden at the community garden center. The community, like a community thing.
I don't know.
Have you guys started seeds?
Usually Mike does all that for us.
Oh.
Yeah, because we
have staff.
We have a staff, but we also have a greenhouse.
Yes. So that's something else. My garden and my outside part is really important to my overall practice.
Yes, it is.
And in bulk doesn't line up. Like there are, you see rituals where it says, none of that plowing spring stuff is here. We had a terrible snowstorm, but it's more than likely going to be, even if we don't have snow, we have ice and sleet, and it's quite
the ground's
cold.
just straight up frozen. No matter
the ground
what.
is frozen. I still have carrots in the ground from last year that I saved there, and I can't dig them out, so I'll have to wait till it thaws a bit. But I have worked out a biodynamic seed sowing schedule for the next little while, and I do have things that need to be sown in February. So I've started like all of those sorts of practices, and I do little rituals around seed sowing and that sort of thing. I was really heavy into it 2 years ago. Great garden, lots of success. Last year,
no one had
got a little slack half. There was lots of issues. We had a rotten spring, all those sorts of things. But also, I didn't follow my own principles. I didn't do my rituals. I didn't follow the moon for my planting and of different plants at different times. So I'm back on track. So hopefully Nova Scotia, I will save your by following the moon and doing all the things and the rituals. Maybe everybody can have a good garden this year. I don't know, but that's the other thing I've started. Actually, is my spring practice.
On that note, like a folklore thing I heard is that if beavers build dams in rivers or streams, it means it's going to be a dry summer, and they're now building dams in streams and rivers, so expect a dry summer. And if they
last year was kind of damp. So
last year rained for a month.
I had this fabulous water collection system that I'd bought secondhand jugs and like a big secondhand thing, and got it lined up with my eaves trough on my little wee house, and I had all this water in less than a weekend. How many gallons is it? It's this big square cube thing was filled with water, and I never had a chance to empty it because I never really had to water my garden. It was wet. It was more likely to be too wet than wet. So this year I may need it.
Yeah.
It's good to have.
So like Karen's got everything planned out and plotted out.
Yes.
But Mike takes care of all the plants for us. We're spoiled.
That's
in that
fabulous.
Sense. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. What is your magical checklist doing every day check-in looking like? And you know what? Everybody, even if just once a day you sit down for 5 minutes and take a few minutes and calm down and say hey to your god or goddess or the plant across the room, like that's okay too. Doesn't mean you're less of a witch or pagan or druid or whatever the heck you may be, if that's all you got in you that day. So everybody, if you have any questions or comments, you can contact us on our Facebook page.
Or Instagram.
We have Instagram.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that message on Instagram. Feel free to message and I'll reply pretty quick.
Okay, Instagram we don't have. I have no idea. I don't have Instagram. But that's excellent. I'm glad to hear that. And if you have any suggestions for shows, we're always open to anything people may have to say.
Hello, beloved listeners and patrons of Three Witches and a Druid podcast. We would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering support of our podcast. With your encouragement, we have been able to explore and celebrate the rich and diverse world of paganism and spirituality. We feel blessed to have had the opportunity to share our knowledge and experiences with you. As we continue to grow and evolve, We invite you to join us on this journey and become a Patreon member of our podcast. Your contribution will help us to continue creating quality content and provide you with more exciting episodes filled with wisdom, insights, and a little enchantment. By becoming a Patreon member, you will not only support our mission, but you will also have access to exclusive content, behind the scenes goodies, discounts, and much, much more. Together, we can create a thriving and supportive community. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being a part of our 3 Witches and a Druid family.
Until next time, everyone, merry meet,
Merry part,
and merry meet again.
blessed be.
This has been 3 Witches and a Druid podcast. Thanks for listening.